My name is Raashan Ahmad. I'm an MC from Oakland, California, member of the Crown City Rockers crew. Man, my favorite album is very hard to do. So I'm just gonna go with like one of the albums that like influenced me and like changed my direction, which would be Portishead, Dummy. Man, okay, so when Portishead Dummy came out, I was going through a big phase. I'd kind of left hip hop for a minute, and I'd start working at this place where I was meeting with all these ravers. And at first I was like, I don't want to go to a rave. And the next thing you know, like every weekend, I was going to raves. I had completely just checked out of hip hop world, and I was just going with trance music, not even like deep soul, techno, house, but just trance, just bam, 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 bam. And then I started getting into the drum and bass, and then started getting into house a little bit. But when Dummy dropped, to me, that was like the ultimate meeting of like two worlds that I absolutely loved. You know, it was like electronic music, and then hip hop somehow combined itself into this weird mixture. And it wasn't like acid jazz or trip hop, because it had like these vocals that were kind of like soul vocals or something. I don't know. I didn't even think that kind of music was possible. And I listened to this album maybe, I don't know, thousands of times. Like this album was a soundtrack, and almost is still the soundtrack to my life. It really like opens up like the possibility of like collaboration, which is one of the things that I love to do. I have so many collaborations with so many different artists, and this is one of the reasons, is because the melding of worlds together, to me, is like the revolution, you know, to have a new idea or an idea from someone else's culture, like spark an idea of mine. To me, that's what like Portishead did with that first album. When they were meeting, like you heard like there was a DJ in the crew, and this the beats were kind of like hip hop beats, but also had like rock guitar in them and stuff. Blows my mind, man. Still, when I listen to this record. Yeah, man. Nobody loves me is my joint. It's all emotional and like emo. Kind of like it's one of those things that I listen to this track, and it's one of those tracks that can kind of make you cry, you know, in a way, and like it feels like she's like bearing her soul. Like, who says that? It's so open, you know. Nobody loves me, and it's true. Damn, what? Like, wow, man. You know, she's just taking off her clothes, and to me, like when I write songs, like I wrote a song called "Paint on Black" on my last album. And give thanks, and a song about my mom dying called Cancer, you know. And this is one of the influences, is like to just completely say what you feel, bare your soul, and just like tear out your guts. And to me, that was one of the most beautiful songs. And maybe when she wrote it for her, it was one of the most painful songs, but it like brought, you know, some sort of help, not only to me but to a bunch of people. So that one, Nobody Loves Me, is my joint. There was a live version of this album, and it was recorded live too, and she rocked. It was like a whole orchestra. They recorded a live album, and they were doing like a whole live tour, and the live show was just incredible too. It was one of those things where you were like, what? Yeah, there's like a DJ and a drummer, and there's like a super orchestra, and then there's like this woman singing in front. It's amazing, man. It's the way the way it all comes together, you know. Sometimes collaborations, and like when people like mix like rock and rap or something like this, you know, it's just like it doesn't really work. Like the idea is nice that you want to do it, but it doesn't work. And to me, this is like, wow, when it really, really works, absolutely amazing. And I don't know if there's any groups that have done what they've done like that since, you know. People sing over hip hop beats, maybe, but like the absolute melding that I feel happened in that project is untouched. Yeah, I have a new album out called Ceremony. I called it Ceremony because it was when I was making it, I was around a bunch of people, and they would hold ceremony when it was time to eat, or they'd say, we're gonna go dance, we're gonna have a ceremony to dance, or we're gonna have a ceremony to meditate. And it was kind of a coming together, once again, the coming together of cultures, of traditions, of people. And I wanted this album to be that kind of reflection, you know. There's people from literally all over the planet. I have a song with Ty, for instance, from London. And the singer on the chorus is my friend Sasha from Australia. And the track is made by a band from San Francisco. Also people like Vincil from France, to my other friend Taku from Australia are on it. So a bunch of people are on it helping to collaborate, but really it's like it's just more of a progression of what I do. You know, I love like the soul funk vibe, but also want to push hip hop forward, not just necessarily be like the old school guy. So this album is me branching out more into other people's territories and trying to collaborate and see what new rhythms and sounds happen. I'm super proud of it too. J'adore France. I love it, man. I love the culture. I love the people, the music. You know, it's, you know, when I come here and I turn on the radio, I hear like good music and the food is good. Like I don't know, man. I came here maybe 3 years ago for the first time. My friend DJ Mora, who actually put out my last record, brought me here for the first time on tour. He organized a tour, and we did like 9 cities, and I just fell in love with this place, man. It's like a second home, especially now. You know, when I tour Europe, I stay in France. This is like home base. I come back for my days off and hang out here. I'm working on my French. Je travaille mon français. Yeah. And you know, I don't know, man. It's a good vibe. It's a good energy. I really appreciate the culture. That's it. Ceremony, go get it. Peace. When you fast and eat right, it make the sugar hard to eat. You see me in the streets, think I'm just a globetrotter. It's not compared to my life as a father. The laws of the nature take you where you're supposed to lay. Trenton, Altadena, Beantown to the Bay. Big shout to the cities that raised me. People so good, but the government's crazy. We not just hood. The guys